WWE Money in the Bank will take place tomorrow in Los Angeles, California. And I wanted to give my predictions for the event. First of all, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, when I look at the people who are in this match, you got people like Sikoa, LA Knight, Andrade, Penta, Grande Americano, which is funny because Chad Gable has a match at Worlds Collide, an event that is taking place the same day as Money in the Bank. But the guy who I expect to win it is Seth Rollins, because ever since WrestleMania, when Paul Heyman aligned himself with Seth Rollins, they are really building the show around Seth Rollins and his group with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and obviously Paul Heyman. So they want Seth to be the focal point of Raw in the Netflix era, for right now anyway. Now, the one wrinkle in that plan might be CM Punk, because CM Punk is not scheduled to compete at Money in the Bank. And so that makes me wonder, what is CM Punk doing? You know, he's got to be at the event. I could see him costing Seth Rollins the Money in the Bank briefcase. So it's a little strange. Or maybe Seth tries to cash in later in the night and CM Punk tries to get involved there. A whole bunch of different things could happen. But I expect Seth Rollins to win this match, because I would be very surprised if anybody else won that contract. Like, think about it. LA Knight, although he's a fan favorite, I just don't think WWE sees him as world champion material right now, because look at who the world champions are. They're Jey Uso on Raw and John Cena on SmackDown. I mean, LA Knight having a feud with Cena, I mean, it's just not what they're gonna do. I mean, it's like, we know they're protecting those world titles so much. It just seems so obvious that Rollins is winning. Andrade, they've done nothing with forever. Penta, you know, he's been featured heavily since he debuted, but still, do I think they want to push him to world title territory? No, I do not. El Grande Americano, it's a great gimmick. Do not think he will be carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase around. That would be shocking to me. So no, I really don't think so. And the thing about the World Championship that Jey Uso is holding, they need to strengthen that championship. They really need to, you know, put somebody in that position that really makes the fans think that it is on the same level as the WWE title. Because right now, you have Jey Uso, who's being booked as a weak champion. Even Gunther was kind of booked in a weak way. He was never made to look really special, you know. So Seth Rollins was the only one who kind of like was like, okay, that guy's the world champion. You know, it's like when he first won the title when they created it. Anyway, so I think that title is going back to Seth Rollins. He's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Women's Money in the Bank match. You got people like Giulia in there. Alexa Bliss is in there. Stephanie Vaquer is in there. Naomi's in there. And I'm probably missing some people. But that's okay, because I am pretty sure I know who the winner is going to be. Now, I got it whittled down to Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. And I really think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer, mainly because, she just took a big loss to JC Jane and lost the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, no offense to JC Jane. You know, I kind of always wanted her to get some time to shine, because she's always in the background, you know, when it was her and Gigi Dolan in NXT, when they had their feud, or when she's part of Fatal Influence, but she's kind of like the backup. She's not the main star of it. Fallon Henley was. But now she gets her time in the sun. So I think they rushed getting that title off of Stephanie Vaquer so they could bring her to the main roster to win this Money in the Bank briefcase. Because let's face it, out of all the people in the match, who has the brightest future? It's Stephanie Vaquer, followed by Giulia. I mean, those are the two people who, they can bring it in the ring. The fans love them. They brought a following with them to the WWE. I mean, like, they were popular before they ever got into the company. So, yeah, I mean, those are the two with the biggest upside. And Vaquer, obviously, she's on fire. I mean, she has been on fire since she debuted on NXT. Remember that match she had with, what's her name? Ren Sinclair. I mean, right from that match, everybody saw a star. So Stephanie Vaquer wins the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. And whenever she does cash in, I expect it to be a successful cash in. Who is she going to get? Could she cash in on Io? Yeah, I could totally see that happening. Yeah, that would be fun to see a feud between Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. Imagine those matches. That would be good. Her cashing in on Tiffany Stratton? Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, there's only 2 other matches on the show. There is Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Intercontinental Championship on the line. I fully expect Lyra Valkyria to win. There are stipulations that are in this match, like it's Becky's last chance to challenge Lyra Valkyria. Basically, if Becky loses, she can't challenge Lyra anymore for this title. If Becky wins, then Lyra has to raise Becky's hand in victory, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, Lyra is one of the biggest up-and-coming stars, right there with Stephanie Vaquer. You know, she's the future of the women's division. She really understands pro wrestling all the way around. I really think, like, you know, a lot of people think Becky is the biggest star of the women's division for the past couple of years. You know, Charlotte Flair's up there with her. And, you know, Io Sky's getting there now. Rhea Ripley as well. I fully expect Lyra Valkyria to be right there with them within the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Like, she's going to be talked about in that conversation as, like, the best in the WWE. So I expect Lyra to beat Becky once again. I think Becky is just coming here to make Lyra look good. I think that's why she came back to do this little run with Lyra. She wants Lyra to be made to look strong, because I know those two are very friendly with each other outside of the ring. So there you go. And then the final match is a tag team match, which, you know, I'm not looking forward to it. But the thing is, we could see some major implications based on what could happen in the finish of this match. So I expect there to be some chaos at the end of this match. So John Cena, who is the WWE champion, is teaming with Logan Paul to face Jey Uso, the world champion, and his partner. Who's his partner again? I freaking forgot. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Can you imagine? I forgot. You see, that's a bad sign. The fact that I can't even remember Cody, because honestly, Cody, you know, his run as WWE champion, although it was a heck of a run that produced big business for the WWE, ever since Cody returned, he's been a huge draw for all the shows that they do and bringing people to the arenas. But the reality is, from a quality standpoint, you know, Cody just has not been bringing it. It's just, like, kind of boring. He's kind of a dork. I mean, the fact that he didn't hit Cena with the title at WrestleMania was lame. It made him look weak. I'm sure he'll get his revenge. I mean, he mentioned it in his return promo, like, he's not going to make that mistake again. I hope he doesn't win the title back, you know, from Cena. You know, that would be so boring, because we're just going to get more of the same. I would prefer if Cody turned heel. That would be much more interesting. But anyway, the fact that I even forgot that he was at this event, that tells you a lot about Cody Rhodes. He's like, you know, he had his run, but you know what? I don't want to see him with that title anytime soon. So as far as this tag team match goes, I expect there to be some funny business at the end. Whoever wins the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men, I expect them to at least try to cash in. I don't know if it'll actually be a cash in, but I mean, it just seems like, you know, having this tag team match is a very flat way to end the show. Not saying that it's guaranteed to be the main event, but I expect it to be, because Cena and Cody Rhodes are in the match. So I could see the Money in the Bank winner cashing in, and that'll give something for the fans to be excited about, because they're going to see something cool happen. I think the winner, Seth, will cash in on Jey Uso. And it's actually a good way to do it, because if he cashes in on Jey Uso, then it doesn't make Jey look weak, even though he's been booked as a weak champion. And I know Jey Uso is scheduled to have a world title match with Gunther on Monday, but this could turn it into a triple threat match between Seth, Gunther, and Jey Uso. So I expect Seth to cash in on Jay and maybe walk out as champion. And if he doesn't do it at Money in the Bank, I can almost guarantee he's going to do it on Raw against either Gunther or Jay. You know, he could cash in during that match. Either way, I expect Seth to become world champion very, very soon. Now, the thing is, where CM Punk fit into all this, I could, like I said, I could see him interfering in the Money in the Bank. I could also see him preventing Seth Rollins from cashing in later in the night during that tag team match. So CM Punk has to play a role in this event somewhere. I mean, hey, Money in the Bank is synonymous with CM Punk. He's a two-time winner. Money in the Bank 2011 was one of the most historic matches, one of the most historic shows that WWE has ever put on. If you haven't seen Money in the Bank 2011, go watch it. That was in Chicago, Cena versus CM Punk. CM Punk should have been in the Money in the Bank match, yo. Come on. And then we could have seen Cena versus Punk at SummerSlam for the title. Maybe we'll see that anyway, who knows? But I think we're going to see Cena Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, which I'm not interested in, but oh well. Anyway, we need to get the World Championship on CM Punk. That needs to be the agenda we're focusing on here. You know, it doesn't seem like it's in the cards right now because he's sort of just floundering right now. He's not really doing anything. But I expect CM Punk to be world champion by the end of the year. And I'm hoping that Punk is the one who beats Cena for the title. They should do Punk versus Cena in Cena's final match with Punk beating Cena clean. That is exactly what should happen at the end of the year because I know Cena's last match is going to be in Boston. It's the perfect thing to do because, remember, their most famous match took place in Punk's hometown of Chicago. Can you imagine the crowd reaction for Cena versus Punk in Boston? Oh, I think we're going to see that match, and I think Punk will be champion to close out the year. Thank you for watching.